This is the Get Your Ass to Work podcast, episode number 36. People quit when shit gets hard. In fact, people usually don't even begin doing what they set out to do, and they usually don't even start doing the activities that they tell somebody that they're going to do. But they do like to talk about it and post it on Facebook, and then you see it for a couple days maybe, and then it disappears. This is so common in our culture right now. Not everyone, but a lot of people are so soft and it's so weak that they are constantly just giving up on activity after activity. And you know when you quit something, you know when you've started a project and you quit it, you don't feel good about it ever. And some people just spiral into this constant just starting something and quitting, whether it be school, jobs, relationships, and it really is soul crushing to continually just give up on everything, to give up on people, to give up on activities, to give up on fitness, to give up on your health, to give up on your dreams. And there's so many depressed people out there who are just living their lives without any meaning, without any purpose, because they are just unwilling to do the hard work. I think there's this big lie in our culture, and it's a saying that I hear so many people say. It usually comes from grandparents or parents, and they're usually telling their younger, their son or their grandson, they're saying, find what you love doing and you'll never work another day in your life. And I think that's total bullshit. And I think it's terrible to raise someone on the thought that just because you may love something, that it's not going to be fucking hard, and it's not going to be a roller coaster, and you're not going to have these huge ups and these huge downs, and you're not going to want to quit like a million times over, and it's going to keep you up, and you're not going to be able to sleep, and it's going to consume you, and people are going to tell you, don't let this activity consume you. There's more to life than just doing this. But you're like, no, this is the result that I want, and I want to achieve this. And people are going to deter you at like every turn, but then they're going to come out with some advice like, well, just fine doing what you love and you'll never work another day. Man, I don't give a fuck who you are. Becoming like a pro athlete, people are like, oh, I wish I could play baseball for a living. I wish I could, play guitar for a living on a stage. Man, you have any idea how fucking hard and how much work it took to get to that level? You think it is fun to be fucking Michael Jordan, spending 8 hours a day, practicing 3 times a day in a basketball court by himself, just shooting free throw after free throw, year after year after year, just taking shots and tweaking and perfect? You don't think there's frustration and anger and, huge disappointments along the way? And I just find it so fascinating that people, at the face of any adversity, will just completely quit a program the moment it starts to get hard. And we as Americans are just losing our grit. We are losing that roll up your sleeves and get some fucking shit done. We're turning into the biggest group of pussies on the fucking planet, and it's just getting softer and softer and softer, and our standards are getting lower and lower and lower as to what is acceptable. Let me give you an example. It's kind of like you go to a restaurant and your food, comes out on time, and you get your glass of water, and the server comes to check on you twice, and you get your check, and everything, was added up correctly. You give your 20% tip, and then you're like, hey, you know what? That's a 5-star review on Yelp or whatever fucking website that you like to use. I hate all of them, but that was great. And if you really think about it, there was nothing like extra fucking special about the service. You just got what you really should have got, and they didn't fuck it up. And now that is enough for people to think that something is exceptional. If you go out and you get a service or you pay for something and it just doesn't break, right? You get a new iPhone and it just doesn't quit on you in 6 months. You go to a restaurant and they don't fuck up your food order. That all of a sudden, oh, that was great service. But there was actually nothing amazing about it. They just didn't screw anything up. And those are our standards right now. Our typical standard is everything is fucking great and you'll get a 5-star review and you're worth every penny you get, as long as you don't fuck something up and you just do what you said you were going to do. Like, we're not even talking about anything extra or over the top anymore. Nobody's going that extra mile anymore unless they have to, and nobody has to anymore. I'm sitting there in my office looking out the window and I see the post office mail carrier drive up. He's in a tank top and shorts with tattoos everywhere. And I think I talked about this before, but it's just like, man, our fucking standards, like, where's the uniform? I'm handing the most important documents, my IRS papers, my, paychecks, my tax forms. I'm handing the most important documents over to somebody who's not in a uniform, has a backwards baseball hat on, driving a mail truck, in a tank top with tattoos, and that's the standard now of the post office. And it's like, what in the fuck? How did this happen? How have we allowed our standards to just get lower and lower and lower? And how do we allow ourselves personally to just keep lowering the standards on what we find acceptable as far as our health, our finances, our relationships, how much effort we put into things before we say, oh, this is too hard, I'm not going to fucking do it. How many people start a diet program, start training for a marathon, start a new job, and they're just done within a week or 2 weeks, and they've got some fucking sorry-ass excuse. Oh, I hurt my knee while I was working out, so I just haven't been for 2 months, and it's getting better. I'm going to go back soon, quit on their diet. It's not that I don't quit on shit. I still quit on things too. But I'm saying we are reducing our standards to the point where quitting is acceptable. Average, adequate service is considered exceptional now. And you don't even have to dress in a uniform to be a government employee. And so, guys, where is this going? Because what I see as the result of a lot of this is I'm seeing so many people that are just depressed, that hate life, that hate getting up on Monday, that are so just unhappy with themselves and what they've produced because they're just allowing the standards of which they hold themselves to just be way too fucking low. People are doing so much less than what they're capable of, and you're getting all this fucking all of this feedback, and you're getting all these people giving you their opinion on, well, if you just found what you really enjoyed to do, you'd never work another day in your life. And it's fucking bullshit, guys. I'm sorry it's bullshit. I'm sorry that no matter what you want to accomplish, if it's something great, I'm sorry it's going to be fucking hard. And it just will be. So for those of you guys who haven't found what your purpose is, and you don't know where you're going with your life, and you're not happy with your job, and you're not getting the results that you want to get, start looking for whatever gives you meaning or whatever has the most purpose to you, and then figure out what work has to be done, and don't even look at the fucking work. And I don't know what that meaning or what that purpose is. And it can change. Like, there's so many people I've talked to, retired police officers, firefighters, doctors, lawyers, people who've held important, powerful positions that no longer have a responsibility, and they're fucking depressed. Like, no matter how much they accomplished in the past, if they're not working towards something, if they're not on the grind, if they're not getting after it, if they're not making progress, if they're not going through that roller coaster of big success and big defeats, if they're not on that path, they're depressed. And it's like one of those things where you see a lot of people who are about to retire from a professional sport or used to be an Olympic athlete, and they're no longer on that roller coaster. And while you may hate the training, you may hate doing what it takes to be fit, and you may hate eating fucking kale and shit green food all the time to lose weight. But while you're on that path, you're getting somewhere that you want to go. And you may not be exactly happy, but you're going to have some sort of fulfillment from doing it. And you know how I know? Because you tell people about it. So find the activities that you like to tell people about that you do, and ignore whatever fucking work you have to do and just start fucking doing it. Whatever the work is that you have to do to get to where you want to go is irrelevant. It's just there, and you fucking take it head on and you start pounding away at that work until you get to where you want to go. And that is how America was built. People had a fucking idea. It didn't matter what got in the way. They were going to fucking get there. So, guys, the depression and the despair that I see in so many people, I think, can definitely be offset if you just figure out where it is that you want to go, find something that you're excited about, and then ignore whatever amount of work it takes to be there, and know that it's going to be hard. Just know it. Like, just know that if you want to do something great and you want to be successful at something, it's going to be fucking hard. The only time this doesn't apply is if nobody else has ever done it before and you're like the first one to do it and it was like super easy for you to figure out by accident. If that's not the case, it's going to be fucking hard. And that's okay. And you don't have to love the work. You don't have to love it. It can make you miserable while you're doing the work, but you'll be internally satisfied because of the result that you're moving towards. So, guys, thanks for listening. Anybody has questions about coaching, or I don't coach for money. People will call me. I don't charge anything for people calling me from all over. It's fucking amazing. I mean, social media's amazing. People call me from different states and are like, hey, man, can I ask you about prospecting by telephone? Everyone knows I'm a real estate agent. That's what I do by trade. That is my profession. If people have questions about prospecting, about real estate related business stuff, I'm definitely nobody to take advice from, but I do have plenty of experiences that I could share that might help you get to where you're going. You can hit me up online, and my website is www.danielpuz.work. So that's www, my name, danielpuz.work, as in get your ass to work. And we'll see you next week.